I'm here with UK band Keane. We've got Tom, Tim, Richard. Guys, how you going?
Good, thanks.
Good. Now, what have you been up to lately?
We flew to Australia,
Really?
which took a whole day. We've had a quick look around Sydney, and we've met lots of people, interviews and things, and been playing loads of gigs and festivals back home, which has been fantastic. So
yeah. What's been the best one?
It's kind of hard. I'd say between Glastonbury and Tea in the Park.
Although Oxygen in Ireland was good as well.
Yeah,
It's been great, and we've done some good ones in like continental Europe or whatever you call it as well, like Norway. And
cool.
they were great. Yeah, and we did a good thing in Helsinki. We were going to all sorts of weird places. It's really nice.
yeah. We're going to Iceland
Oh.
to play at the world's northernmost festival.
Wow. When's that?
I think, isn't it in October? So I'm worried that it's going to be cold.
Yeah. Oh, you got to rug up then.
Some sort of
rug
jumper
up.
would be in
Oh,
order.
right.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you think I said?
No, I heard rug up. I just didn't know what it meant. But I was like, I could have guessed.
Now let's talk about your music. Describe the sound of you guys, because for people that aren't sure about who you are, what are you?
We're just rubbish, aren't we, basically? It's very, we're very, I don't know, we're really into songs, basically, which sounds like a stupidly obvious thing to say, but I think it's probably kind of more important to us than it is to some people. I don't know, that's all that really matters to us. We're not a kind of very imagey band or anything, so it's all about the music, it's about good songs. Tom's got a beautiful voice.
Like an angel.
Love to hear.
Only when he's singing.
It's very kind of piano based
Yeah.
as well, and it really rocks, or we like to think so anyway. And I don't know, we sound a bit like the Smiths or something like that, but with more piano and less of Johnny Marr. He's not in the band, sadly.
Now, your debut album, Hopes and Fears, went straight to #1 on the UK charts. How did that make you feel?
No, it was number 3.
Don't be giving me grief, alright, please.
Is it breaking point? It was great. It was amazing. I mean, we, to be honest, we've been playing together for years and years, and
You grew up together.
exactly,
Yeah.
we did. I mean, we're old friends, and we've grown up having this dream of whatever, having a record out, basically, and. But, things don't always go quite as smoothly as you imagine they might, so we've had years and years of nothing happening at all for us. We've tried and played lots of shows and made demos and stuff, but we'd almost got to the point a couple of years ago where it seemed impossible to imagine that we would ever actually put out a record. Yeah. And then it happened. So to be honest, just, being #1 obviously was fantastic, but just the fact we got the record released was... felt like the biggest thing ever, really.
Yeah. Well, you guys used to be a 4-piece, didn't you? You had your guitarist, and then he left, and things started happening from there. Is that right? Yeah. That's pretty sweet.
It took a while to kind of sort of find, our path or whatever. After the guitarist left, we kind of went through a slightly electronic phase, and I suppose the point at which Tim started playing the piano, and we just stripped everything down and made it a much more simple sound was a real turning point for us. And then, I suppose, sort of 18 months ago or something, we put a single out just independently in the UK, and that sort of kick-started, people's kind of interest in the general public, which was really nice as well. So, I suppose they're the two kind of defining points in Keane's history so far.
Nice. Now, is it true that you got a total of 21 record deals offered to you? Is that true? Because that's massive. After so many years of trying and not getting any, to 21.
We never counted.
No?
It was. We don't know, basically. We certainly met a lot of people, and that was lovely. But it was very exciting just to feel that we got to the point where people were like, right, let's make a record. We'd love to make a record with you guys, etc. And then we had a few weeks of lots of meetings, a lot of meeting people and all that, and it was pretty quickly we got to the point where we thought actually we just want to have a bit less chat and a bit more making music. So we didn't get too we tried not to get too caught up in
the
numbers.
Well, it was a fan site, I saw it on, so they obviously counted.
But one of the cool things about it is that you know, sometimes bands are sort of pressured into taking, you know, kind of things that mean they don't get to control a lot of what they do. And one of the cool things about the situation we found ourselves in was that, you know, we were able to make sure that, you know, like we do the artwork, you know, and we choose which singles we put out, and we choose the order that the songs go on the record, and things like that, you know, which a lot of bands don't get to choose, and it is, obviously, it's really important, you know, those sort of details, and, you know, all the great bands sort of really, you know, pay attention to those details as well, and, you know, so we were very lucky to be in that situation.
Absolutely. Now, I heard that the name Keane came from a little old lady that used to babysit you, Tom. Is that right?
I guess so. I mean, we actually all knew her when we were little. I mean, really, we decided to sort of use her name because we just thought it was such a great name. Cherry Keane was her full name, and we actually were initially called Cherry Keane. But we were just trying to come up with ideas for names for the band, and that one's just really sort of stuck out. And,
Okay.
you know, so we used it. But yeah, I mean, I guess she, you know, in fact, Tim and I remember sort of playing a song to her once, and she sort of nodded and said, "It sounds lovely." She was probably lying, obviously, but she never got to find out that we named the band after her.
Oh, really?
Unfortunately.
Oh. Now, I was reading an article once that said, you guys, this is horrible, but you represent everything to hate about rock and roll. How does that make you feel when, like, comments like that come out? Because
Everything to hate about rock and roll.
Yeah. Well, that was one that's pretty nuts. But then they did also say, but you make damn good songs.
It's right.
It's an interesting contradiction, that, isn't it?
It is, isn't it?
I think that's kind of that's quite a good way of summing it up, actually, because I think for us, music is about having good songs, which mysteriously seems to be something that doesn't quite wash with a lot of people, which I think is stupid.
That's basically, so that's removing the quality of the music from the notion of rock and roll, which is like, well, is it cool then to just be cool? But, oh God, fuck knows. Sorry, I just swore.
We'll beep it out.
How rock and roll.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously
We went out for a drink last night.
Yeah, we did.
Whoa.
I mean, I had a beer a few months ago.
Watch out.
But yeah, people love to be able to write about bands doing whatever crazy stuff, and lots of drugs. Basically, seems to be the bottom line. And bands over the last 40 years or whatever it is that people have been peddling that same nonsense. Bands are kind of clever enough to know that if they want to get in a magazine, then they should just make that their image or whatever, regardless of how true it is. And I don't know, just for us, we do plenty of stupid things and whatever, I'm not even going to go into it, but we just, I don't know, kind of on principle, just because of everything about our music is about being kind of quite honest and about being true to ourselves and not being sucked in some stupid world of trying to be cool. I think we just feel like, as a kind of principle, that we don't want to make that a part of our image or some sort of feeble attempt at selling ourselves that way. So yeah, and people kind of resent that because it makes it harder for us harder to write about us or whatever, because they actually have to write about the songs.
Well, speaking of the songs, you put so much emotion into your songs, like they're so emotion filled. Do you ever feel vulnerable that people are seeing the raw emotion of Keane?
Yeah, I think we do feel that way, but I think it's really good to feel that way. I mean, it's like it's like having a kind of very intimate conversation with someone or something. It's a great feeling to sort of spill your guts or whatever they call it. Just sort of saying everything that you feel, and sometimes you don't know how people are going to respond. Someone could go, I don't know that, or you're an idiot or whatever. But a lot of the time, people are just desperate to hear a bit of honesty, and they want to make that connection. And it's the same with music. I think people really, really well, a lot of people, especially just normal music fans, just really respond to the fact that we're very honest about what we do. And I mean, I think it is scary to not hold anything back for yourself, but I don't know, we've been doing it so long that it felt like we had nothing to lose and certainly nothing to gain being precious about what we feel or anything. And if that makes any sense, I just think it's great if we put everything into our music and everything about ourselves, then that kind of encourages people to give something in response, and if you hold something back, then people will probably hold something back as well, and you just don't get that same relationship going. So it's probably the most sort of fundamental thing about who we are.
Interesting. Now, I was reading that you guys said you're talking about how, like, from guitar to piano, it's such a different feel. You know, like, you wear contacts. I just noticed that.
So does Tim.
Really? There you go.
They stung a bit when I put them in just now.
Really?
Yeah, it was last night, see.
Sorry, I'll get back to it.
It's just vanity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough, no glasses.
I have glasses, I just don't wear them.
Nice. Now, yes, let's get back to the piano, the guitar. I've read somewhere that you were saying how having the piano, it just makes it more of a raw, you hear more of the music, more of the words. I totally agree with that. Can I just say, I was listening to your album and I just went, that is so true. Like, if you put a guitar in there, it'd be so different.
Oh, that's nice to hear.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, because I'm a rocker. I love my rock, but listening to those, you know, just you can hear it, and you've got such a beautiful, emotion-filled voice. It sounds fantastic, yeah. I should have been asking you that, but instead I just said that's just great.
Well, I think it's important that there's space and you know, for the voice to move around in and to get those melodies across, and also I think the most important thing, or one of the most important things, is getting the words across and making sure that people can hear what I'm singing, because, you know, like Tim was saying, you know, they're kind of a fundamental part of who we are. So yeah, I mean, I think when people come and hear us live, they're kind of quite surprised at how sort of exciting and energetic and rock it is, but at the same time they're able to get a real sense of the meaning of the songs and stuff, which I think is really important.
What's next for Keane? Where are you guys going?
Sound check.
Yes, gig tonight.
Yeah, we're going to gig tonight, which is very exciting.
Lovely.
Our first gig in Australia.
Yeah.
Really?
Then Melbourne, and
Yeah.
then we're buzzing off to Japan. We're playing at Fuji Rock, which should be cool.
Cool.
And then just lots of festivals, actually, just playing live a lot, and you know, carrying on, you know, visiting new places, and then hopefully, you know, next year we'll get to come back as well. So you know, that's the plan, is to just play to whoever will listen.
Awesome. And are you planning another album or anything?
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, this record only came out a couple of months ago, even in the UK. So everything's very new for us.
Just
you know.
enjoying.
Yeah, exactly. We don't. I mean, you know, we are thinking about our next record, and we think about new songs and how we can rehearse them and find time to do all that stuff. But we just don't want to rush into it and, you know, turn into a sort of machine where we're like already thinking about how we can churn out the next sort of whatever. Yeah, exactly. And but yeah, I mean, we just want to make sure that the next album is really, really amazing, and it'll take time to do that.
Sweet.
So.
Oh, I forgot to ask you. You guys were in a cover band back in the day, weren't you? Because I was in a cover band.
We
Did a lot of covers.
What did you do?
I did rocky stuff, you know.
What did you play? Or
I sung.
did you sing?
I'm a singer.
Oh.
Go and give us a burst.
No, you give me a
What kind of
verse.
songs? Name that tune. A tune.
A tune. I love my No Doubt. I love, like, you know, No Doubt.
Yeah,
I can kind
we
of sing
do.
like that. Do you know a band called Killing Heidi? They're Australian. Not South Australian, but Australian.
Killing Hardy.
Heidi. Yeah,
Heidi.
Killing Heidi.
I
They're pretty
saw
cool.
that written somewhere. Are they still
Yeah.
big at the moment?
Yeah, they're around.
It's just a
They're
singer.
around. Yeah,
Post or
I'm a bit
something?
of a rock sort of singer.
Okay.
There you go.
Wow, cool.
But enough about
Do the
that.
viewers know?
They do. I was actually on Australian Idol. You know, your Pop Idol.
Right.
I came 8th in Australian Idol. There you go.
Congratulations.
thank you. I didn't win, but I got a job out of it, so I can't complain. But anyway, well, we're talking about you guys though.
Are we?
What was your band called?
No. We weren't a covers band as such.
Covers.
We just, when you start playing, I mean, I don't know, probably we were like Tim was saying or Tom was saying about playing the Boxer to Cherry Keane, and you just used to sing other people's songs, and and just it's how I guess it's a lot of how we learnt to do things, because we know there's not really a music scene where we're from, so we just you learn by kind of learning how other people did it.
And where are you from? Is it Battle?
Yes.
You say Battle?
Yeah.
What's that like?
Pretty small. It's just a little town in the countryside in the south of England. It's quite sort of touristy, because there's this big abbey to commemorate a battle that was there in 1066, which the Battle of Hastings. And
There
poor
you
old
go.
Battle isn't even named after, the battle that it's famous for is named after a different town. So poor old Battle. It's nice though, but
Yeah.
there isn't much to do when you're young. So we used to sort of hang out in the holidays and just play football and cricket, and got into music that way, I guess.
Lovely. Do you still play football?
We did only the other day.
Yes.
So now are we talking soccer? Oh, you're talking
Soccer.
Right. So not rugby. Do they call rugby in England rugby?
Yeah, that's its name.
Right, okay.
What do you call it?
Well, see, we've got AFL, which is Aussie rules football.
Yeah.
It's kind of a bit blokey. And then you've got...
That's the one where you kind of have the ball and you punch it,
Yes,
right?
that's it. And then
have to
We
wear
watch
tight
Neighbours.
shorts.
We've
I
seen-
hear you going on Neighbours tour
Yeah.
with Harold.
Well, I don't know if
Yeah,
that's
so-
sorted out. It'd be great to even see him from afar. As I'm sure you can.
What's his
Um,
name?
Ian Smith.
Ian Smith. That's right.
Yeah.
Apparently he's really cool.
Yeah, everyone
Yeah.
says he's absolutely hilarious. Isn't he a comedian?
I don't know.
I'm sure he does stand-up comedy, and apparently it's unlike Harold Bishop in its content.
Oh, yeah.
It's not kind of.
Yeah, he's a bit...
Apparently it's quite fruity.
Yeah. What do you say, fruity?
Yeah.
Okay. I say filthy, but anyway. Alrighty,
I
guys.
say fruity, you say filthy. Let's wrap the whole thing
Potato or
up.
potato?
I've just eaten.
Alright, I'm gonna leave you alone now. Thank you very much for speaking with us and
It's a
me.
pleasure.
Everyone out there. Keane, guys.
Cheers.
Thank you.